Welcome back. This is John Locke for Lockdown SEO, and today I'm answering a question that comes in via Twitter. Jason asks, if you change the theme or the design on your website and rankings dip, if rankings have dipped on this website after you change the design or the theme, how fast can you get the rankings back? What does it take to recover? I want to answer this question by saying design is a very important part of SEO, way more than it was 10 years ago, because Google does use user signals to determine whether people are finding a site useful or not. So all these things, such as the aesthetics, the usability, and the legibility of the information, how easily they can find the information and use that information to accomplish their goal, whether it's researching a fact, finding something out, making a purchase, that design really does play a part in this. And you will see this with websites that have similar content. The ones that have a good eye-catching, aesthetically pleasing, low friction design seem to do well over time, and they rise to the top of search rankings versus other sites that have kind of a more hard to use design, a little bit harder to read, a little bit harder to use, a little bit harder to find that information. Now, one thing that I think a lot of people hear when they're hearing design and user experience and UX is they are thinking about speed. Page speed is something that is a ranking factor. Google has said this, but it is not the only factor. There are other things that are as important. If you have a perfect 100 score in page speed insights, that does not mean that you deserve to rank higher. Google, I think, and a lot of people think, they reward speed in a little bit because it makes it easier for Googlebot to crawl and index those pages. And it's also useful for people who have a lower internet connection. Maybe they're only on 3G or 4G, or they have slower speeds and higher latency. So that speed helps. But in a general sense, they want to reward the best pages, and they're going to rely on more signals than just the raw speed factor. They're going to rely as well on how people interact with that page over time. Anytime that you change the design of a site, Google is going to reevaluate each page and the site as a whole. So there is always inherent risk in changing the design of a site. It doesn't mean that you should leave an old website the way that it is indefinitely, because people's idea of what a website should look like and how they should be able to interact with it does evolve over time. And it is evolved just in the 10 years or so that mobile devices have been popular. Now, the first thing that I would be looking at if I changed the design of a website and the rankings started to dip across the board is the overall content of each page and key pages. You would want to go to Google Analytics and you would want to see which pages dipped versus where they were in a previous year or a previous period over the same amount of time. That will give you an indication if the problem is page specific and your traffic is going down because your key pages are getting less traffic, or if it is a site-wide phenomenon. Now, oftentimes, if your home page or certain other key pages are changed, a lot of times they will simplify sites. I know this is a thing that web designers like to do, is simplify the site. And that's not always the best thing to do. In a lot of cases, the home page is going to have the most authority and the most juice, the most power, the most link equity is going to be flowing into the home page. And because people can get to other pages within the site from the home page, a lot of times that page will rank more efficiently than other pages that could produce a similar result from that website. So that is one place that I would look right away, is what changed as far as the content. Now, if the site appears to be down site-wide It might be your design, and it might coincide with other things that are happening. Did this website lose key hyperlinks from other websites linking to it? Hyperlinks from other websites do propel a site up, especially if it's from a trusted website like a major news publication or a major industry website or a very authoritative website. Those types of links, if they are broken, removed, disappear, if there's link rot that's happening and that link is no longer there, that could also affect the ranking of your website, especially if it's a site-wide phenomenon. It might happen to coincide with the design being changed or the theme being changed. I know a lot of people try and improve stuff for speed. Another thing to troubleshoot would be, how does this website render on mobile and how is it usable on mobile compared to what it was before? All websites nowadays are being graded by the mobile first experience. The mobile version of the website and how it renders on mobile is the version that's being evaluated in search results. That has been for a couple of years now. So that would be a place that I would look. Don't look at desktop necessarily, but look at how this site is coming through on mobile. Look at the pages, look at all of the site and how easy is this to use? How did this change as far as legibility, as far as content, as far as what's being displayed, and the overall experience of this site? Now keep it in mind too, like every time you change the website and you launch a new version of it, Google does need to reevaluate this site. If nothing changed as far as content and nothing changed as far as links, then the answer has got to be that it's something in the design, but I would give it a little bit of time. If you just changed it and it's been a week or two and stuff dropped off, maybe it needs to be recrawled. Make sure that like all your pages that should be redirecting to new pages are the same. If nothing in the architecture has changed, it's got to be the design somehow. Again, Google might take some time to reevaluate it, but if stuff doesn't pick back up, you need to look at what the differences are between the old and the new, because something is different that is affecting how people interact with that page. And especially as time goes by, Google will have user data to evaluate how people are interacting with that site and whether they're happy with it and whether they're satisfied with the site or individual pages within that site. So the longer the time goes on, the more true that reading will be of where your ranking is. Now, if your site is still down, yeah, you would be looking for what is different. For example, it could be the order of where you put certain pieces of content. That could be an issue. If everything's the same word for word or photo for photo, then it could be something as simple as the positioning or the way that it was displayed or the arrangement of the page. Maybe people found it more useful or more intuitive, but those are all places that I would look. Google looks for patterns within certain sites of what works, and you can kind of look at any type of industry and look at the sites that are really successful and look at the characteristics of those websites. And a lot of times they're going to have common characteristics that are true throughout all the top ranking pages, or the majority of them at least. Now, if your new website has those characteristics, then it should have a good chance of ranking. If it does not have those characteristics anymore in the new version, then that would be an area that I would look at, but you'd have to evaluate it. I hope that answers this question and gives you a little bit more to think about. Again, don't be afraid to change up your site, but be thoughtful about how you do it. Don't randomly take away content or eliminate content. If you're eliminating pages or condensing pages, remember to have 301 redirects in place to where there are no broken links and Google can find the new versions of the pages and your users can as well, and that you don't have any broken backlinks. If you got value from this video, then I would ask you to leave a comment down below. Just tell me a little bit about what you got out of this video. Give it a thumb up and subscribe. My name is John Locke. My business is Lockedown SEO, and until next time, peace.